Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. I'm Steven Silver, character designer and teacher, dedicated to helping you learn about the art industry and living up to your potential. Whippy! Alright, so today what I wanted to talk about is something that I'm going through. I went through yesterday, but I wanted to talk about it today because today is a new day and I'm feeling better. But I do just want to tell you about what is just frustrating and really hard about being an artist to me. And I may have discussed this in some other older art talks, but I think the hardest part for me, the toughest thing about being an artist is that when you just have a bad drawing day, when you get into that funk, when you're just hitting to the paper, you're trying to do something. Right now I'm in the middle of just creating a bunch of new videos and courses and exciting videos for schoolism. And I'm working on these videos and I'm working on trying to create something and I'm pulling up the reference that I need and I just start drawing and I'm recording and all of a sudden it's just not going well. I'm just at the end, I'm looking at the drawing and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just not feeling it. And I know a lot of times there's that subjectiveness to it where someone else may not see that. They go, what are you talking about? That's fine. It's a lot better than I can do, or whatever it may be. It's just like when I always hear people from other countries when they're speaking English to me and they tell me how bad their English is. And I said, what are you talking about? It's like, I can understand everything that you're saying. You know, it's just this sort of like feeling that one gets that they're not doing their best. We have that as an artist. You're not performing to your best. In your mind, you're telling yourself this isn't working out. But it's a real frustration and it sends me into this sort of I don't want to talk. I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to talk. It's just, I don't want to really engage so much. I just want to be in my own thought because I'm just trying to contemplate, where did I go wrong? What have I done wrong? Why is this happening? But you know, what am I experiencing? And so I have to analyze it. That's what I do. And I also know that it's a bad drawing day today. I know that it's not a bad drawing day for the rest of my life. I know that it's going to, once I get back to the drawing board, things will change. I'll have a different feeling. There's different times of the day where I feel like drawing, typically in the morning into the afternoon. Once it starts to get evening time, I can start to fade down, but then all of a sudden I could get some food in my system and then I'm back up again. And through that frustration, I found it just gets so hard. And it's sometimes it's not even fair to my family, to be honest with you, because in my mind, I'm just like quiet and I'm just contemplating and I'm thinking and I'm just I'm beating myself up within my mind. And I think for me, it's the toughest part. And I always go, God, maybe, these are the thoughts that I know that I've had in my life. Ever since I was like 18, I can remember having conversations with my friends. Man, it would be so much easier if I just had a regular job. And I wasn't an artist and I wasn't creative and I just showed up and I did the sort of mundane work, job, whatever that is. And you come home at the end of the day and you're done until the next day, but your mind doesn't have to keep going. And I think that's the toughest part for me about being an artist, is that constant creative, movement. It just doesn't stop. And even dreams, sometimes I don't even know, am I really getting a good night's sleep at night? Because I dream so heavy. I'm in the whole other worlds. There's these whole other scenarios, whole other stories that are created. And my mind is going. It's like, is my mind ever really resting? And that's where this frustration kind of kicks in. And I know just yesterday, and it didn't happen towards really like the end of the day. It wasn't until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm drawing and I'm working on it and I do the whole video and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And then I then I stopped it, I erased that video and I started again, and then it happened again and I stopped the video and I erased it. And then at that point I had to tell myself, today is not the day. And that's a lot, in reality, the solution to a lot of my dilemma when it comes into that phase is just like, for whatever reason, today is not the day. It's just, my mind isn't there, and there's that extra frustration. And then I start to analyze it even more, and I'm maybe stricter on myself than I even need to be. And this is for that reason why I need to just step away at those points when I hit that block. And the idea is that I don't want that every day. I know there's artists out there that go through this frustration a lot. And I do realize that what can happen is that frustration oftentimes can come from not, if it's happening all the time to you, this is what I'm referring to, is from the lack of knowledge on something, to where you're just trying to fight it. You're just not prepared. It's like you're trying to run a marathon, you're trying to run this race, but you've never really exercised. You've never worked out all your muscles. You've never tried to do a marathon before, and you just keep struggling, and you're just never going to get to the finish because you just don't have the stamina. You don't have the muscles. You don't have all that stuff going on. And that's what I feel can happen with drawing if you keep hitting these roadblocks all the time. So that's something just to be aware of. If you're like, man, that's my everyday, I'm going through that, well, then that's when you go, okay, I'm hitting that every day. There's something that I do need to address and change. And oftentimes it's from that maybe that lack of understanding about the subject that you're even trying to address. So that's very important to think about. But I do want to say that you are going to have this throughout your life. I don't know. I know I'm not speaking alone here. As a professional artist, been working since I was 18. I'm 47 right now. I've gone through it and all, you go through those ups and downs. And I do know that this is not going to end, because it's just going to be, whenever I tackle a new subject, whenever I do something, there's going to be that moment of frustration within the drawing that occurs. And I don't want you to, even though you're going to beat up on yourself that day and you're going to go through the things, I don't want you to just make it that it's going to be forever, because it won't be, and it shouldn't be, but it's going to just keep occurring from time to time. And again, today's a new day, and I haven't even, it's the morning time as I'm making this video. I haven't even hit to the drawing board yet, but I have an idea of how I want to approach something, because my mind works that when I go through a frustration, when I deal with that, again, I'm constantly analyzing. Why did that happen? What should I have done? What could I have done? How can I change that situation from the next time that I go to that drawing board? What can I do differently? It's starting from a new place. It's doing even warm-ups when I just go in, and that's the most important aspect of everything that I find is so helpful, is just to do just these warm-ups, these quick things that just they're just getting it out of your system, just to draw, just to move. There's no right, there's no wrong. You're just getting that hand moving. You're starting just to, you've turned on your engine. It's like we're in a cold climate and you want to let your engine warm up. Let it just rotate for a little bit before it's ready to hit the road. That's the same thing you want to do when you're getting into a drawing day. I think is important, just to rev up your engine, just get the motor running a bit before you tackle any bigger subjects. And that's an area where I realized today, before I start making my video, I'm going to make sure that I do my morning warm-ups or afternoon warm-ups, whenever you can do it, just to sort of get that engine turning, get me sort of like loosened up and ready. It's like if you're going to a figure drawing class or something, before you just start tackling the model straight away, you want to just move around that drawing pad and just draw some ovals and draw some squares and draw some lines and flow, and just move that hand in a figure 8 motion and just move it around and just, just to loosen up and relax. So I realize that that's what I have to do. But that's kind of like what I go through from time to time. And it is a frustrating thing. One of the most frustrating things for me, being an artist, is that constant churning and, again, beating up on yourself because, oh my God, you didn't do a good drawing. Oh no, your world's crashing. Really? Yeah. But that's what's happening. It does. At that moment, creatively, you sort of kind of crash. And I think any sort of endeavor in the arts, from ballet to music to whatever it may be, to singing, you can go through that, and I'm sure many people do all the time. But I just kind of wanted to share with you my frustrations of being an artist, and I hope that if you're going through that, just know that if it's a daily thing, just to work on it. But if it's an occasional thing, accept it, and that's what we got to do. Unfortunately, it's tough, but we have to accept it. What else are we going to do? We're going to just give up. We're just going to throw up a pencil and just stop drawing forever and say, that's it. I'm no longer going to do this anymore because I'm having a bad drawing day. No, we don't want to do that. As a professional, you got to work through that. The toughest thing that can happen is when you're working on a project and there's a due date, and then you're going through that motion. That's a tough challenge, but it happens. And that's when it's like, oh my God, I got to get it together. I got to get it together. And it's a mental draining exercise. But day by day, that's what we got to deal with. And that's what frustration about being this. But again, there's so many great things. And it's funny, yesterday when I was I was at dinner with my daughter and my wife yesterday and telling them this, and I just feel so like, and my daughter's 15 and she's saying, yeah, but look how lucky you are. You're so lucky. You get to see us every single day, and you get to be with us every single day, and you get to work in your pajamas, and you get to be at home, and you get to this and that. I'm like, I know. It's an amazing, wonderful thing, and I'm so grateful for that, but still, it's just like, rah. So anyway, that's it. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care. To learn more about my Skype mentorships and workshops, please visit silvertunes.com. And if you like, sign up for my mailing list where you'll be notified of any upcoming workshops or events. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.